Number one, you're afraid of open water swimming. Open water swimming has a lot of anxieties that come with it. Waves, sighting, critters, riptides, other swimmers. All of this can be overcome. The first fear you might have is the fear of getting lost or of the fact there's no line on the bottom of that pool, very dark water below you. And how we fix that is by sighting. What you're going to do is when you get in the water, you're going to swim toward the buoys. And how you're going to keep an eye on the buoys, and you're going to practice this in the pool. There is a video on my channel about learning how to sight while in the pool. That will be linked in the description below. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to swim, you're going to spot that buoy where you're going to go, and you're going to try to spot something large in the distance, like a house or a tree, and you're going to, as you take your third or fourth stroke, you're going to look forward and you're going to spot that tree. You're going to make a mental image, and you're going to then swim toward that mental image for 4 or 5 more strokes. You're not going to stop. You're not going to stick your head up. You're not going to look around for that buoy. You're going to swim toward the object that you spotted. That will get you past the no line on the bottom of this pool, the dark water, and the fear of getting lost. Another fear that people have in the open water is fear of waves. When you have that happen, you have to learn to shorten your stroke a little bit, and you have to learn to breathe up under your arm. It's difficult to do, and the one way to fix that is to go out and open water swim. The last concern you'll have in open water swimming is other swimmers around you. Now, there's several different ways you can fix that. One of them is by starting on the far outside or the far back of a wave start. When it comes to going in the water in a self-seated start, you could just stay all the way to the inside or the outside of the line of people swimming in the water. You can get yourself out of a group of swimmers by not getting in them in the first place. If you like these tips, I have 3 more tips to help you beat that anxiety in your triathlon race. And stay on board, because I have a bonus tip right at the end. Don't miss out on that one, because that's the next step to beating your anxiety in triathlon race. So stay right here, because I'm going to bring you some really great information on beating the anxieties of your first race. Fear number 2 is equipment malfunction. And guess what? Equipment malfunction happens to the best of them. Annie Haug, one of the best female triathletes in the world, had her spare tube fall out of her repair kit and get wrapped around her rear tire. She had to stop and she had to clear that out. Guess what? You might be a beginner, but it happens to everyone. So don't feel like you're going to be the only one that it ever happened to. Now, the equipment malfunctions that we're going to talk about are flat tires, number 1. This is the most common equipment malfunction in triathlon. There's a couple of ways to beat the problem of a flat tire. The first, to make sure that you learn how to change a flat tire on your bike. Again, there's a video on flat tire repair in my archives. I'll have that linked in the description below. But more importantly, how you generally can beat just about any flat tire in any triathlon race is putting brand new tires on your bike prior to the race. But a new set of tires is the best defense against flat tires. So when it comes to flats, learn how to change one, carry a flat kit, and have brand new tires on your bike before the race. When it comes to other bike issues, most of those are mechanical. What you want to do about 2 weeks before your race is you want to take your bike to your local bike shop and get your bike tuned up. Have them check and make sure everything is in good working order. Make sure your bearings are good. Make sure your shifter cables are good. Make sure your brake pads are good. Your brake cables are good. Everything is ready to go, and that's a great time to put those new tires on the bike. This will avoid most mechanical issues on the bike. The third malfunction I want to talk to you about is, well, wardrobe malfunction. This can happen just about any time. It happens again to the best of them. You could have issues with zippers breaking on your tri-suit, laces breaking on your shoes, goggles breaking before the swim, that type of thing. My advice to you is roll with the punches. If you have your goggles break, just before the race, see if you can find somebody with a spare pair. Most every triathlete will give you their shirt off their back if you need it. When it comes to laces on your shoes, that type of thing, you check all of that stuff prior to packing your transition bag and make sure it's all in great shape. Trust me, I had it happen to me. I almost had a half Ironman ruined because I didn't check my laces on the shoes and they broke when I put them on. Elastic laces work great. Again, another video on the elastic laces, link in the description below. Item number 3 we have is fear of the unknown. This is all brand spanking new to you, and you're gonna have all kinds of race day jitters, race day anxieties. Some of the ways to get rid of some of those race day anxieties is, number 1, make a schedule and stick to it. Know how long it's gonna take to get from where you're staying to the parking lot at the race, and get there early. Make sure that you are one of the first cars in the parking lot, not one of the last. It's better to be all done and ready to go a half hour before the race than to try to get that half hour of sleep that is going to mean absolutely nothing in your race, trying to get that in and get to the race venue late. Then you're having all kinds of issues getting set up in transition and getting to the race start on time. Give yourself plenty of time to get to the race venue, and you're gonna be able to find out most of the other issues when you pick up your race number. You can ask questions to the volunteers, they'll have answers for you there. Get your transition set up. Again, many videos on transition in my archives, links in the description below. Walk down to the swim start, know where everything is, nice and easy, take a breath, and be ready for the race that way. Another way you can beat the anxiety of the unknown is to just make sure you're packed ahead of time. Make sure your bike is ready to go. You have your transition bag packed. You have your pump in the car. All of this stuff you want to have ready, and you want to have it packed in your car the night before the race. This way you have no rushing around trying to get this stuff done and have the issue of leaving something behind. Know what you're going to eat. Know what you're going to have for breakfast the next day. If you have oatmeal, have that sitting out, ready to go, everything laid out before you go to bed. If you're gonna have coffee in the morning, have all of that laid out, have everything ready to go with your breakfast beforehand so you have no issues of trying to put all that stuff together at the last minute. Speaking of transition, make sure you practice transition. This is the 4th discipline of triathlon. You have swim, transition, bike, transition, run. It's the only one you do twice. Practice that not once, not twice. Practice that every couple of weeks. Get a transition in on one of your brick workouts. This way, you'll be ready to go on race day. If you're getting value from this video, give me a thumbs up. Go into the comments below. Let me know what your biggest fear in triathlon racing is. And this video is being brought to you by JS Coaching Systems 10-week for $10 sprint triathlon training plans, where you'll be able to take care of another one of your issues and know that you're gonna have proper training prior to the race. Anxiety number 4, fear of failure. No one wants to fail in one of these. There are ways to keep from failing. First, make sure you schedule training time. I know life is busy and you're doing a triathlon as a way to get in shape or to better yourself in some way, but make sure you schedule training time. It takes time to get ready for one of these races. It takes dedication and it takes effort. If you get the 10-week for $10 training plan, it will lay out all of your workouts and how much time you're gonna need for each one each day. Yes, life happens. You will miss some workouts, but you wanna miss as few as possible to be ready to go and in good enough shape to hit that starting line in the best possible shape and the least amount of injury and be ready to go for the race. You want to train in all 3 disciplines. You want to train to your weakness, race to your strength. If you're a runner, which most people come to triathlon from the running background, and not a swimmer, don't count on doing a lot of running and getting a couple of swims in because it's not your best discipline. You want to train to your weakest discipline. If you are a poor swimmer, train to your swimming. Get some help. Get some professional help. Get a swim coach to work with you, or get a video online coaching to take a look at your swim stroke and help you along the way. If you're a swimmer who doesn't run well, You're gonna get a couple of swim workouts in, but they're just gonna be to keep you in decent condition. And if you're a poor runner, you're gonna go out and you're gonna run, vice versa with the cycling. If you're a poor cyclist, you wanna get in the best possible amount of cycling work that you can, following your training plan to build speed and to build stamina, using the bike to build your endurance. Guess what, folks? DNFs happen, did not finish. These happen to the best, they happen to beginners, they happen to people every single solitary race. It's not an embarrassment to have a DNF, and most DNFs come from the mechanical. They don't come from the physical. Remember, your body can do a whole lot more than your brain thinks it can. You can push through to the finish line, even if, and don't be embarrassed if you have to, walk part of the race. Now, I promised you a bonus tip, and this is your bonus tip right now. Check out this video right here to help you beat that swim anxiety in your triathlon race. This is Coach John. I'm out.